Hello and welcome in, everybody. We are here live for the most anticipated game of the day in this afternoon's matchup in the Under-18 Four Nations 2022 tournament between Wales and England. We're live here from Cardiff, Wales in the Archers Arena. This is going to be an incredible game today, a massive rivalry between the two teams, and we're here to take you all through it live on the BBL Player. Thank you for joining us. I'm Atticus Pead. Joining me today, Caroline Kaz Bullock, commentating for the Manchester Mystics this season, and now you're here with me today. Caroline, Kaz, we're in for a massive game today.
We absolutely are. This is a rivalry. This game is going to be the... Oh, well, we've got another game, haven't we, afterwards? England and Wales. We've got two England-Wales games. These are going to be the games of the tournament. Unbeaten teams, and they want to, take that top spot, even though there's not really a top spot. But they want to take the bragging rights for the unbeaten teams.
Like you said, Kaz, we do not have, there's no final per se for this tournament. Every nation plays each other once, and that's it. But Wales and England have fulfilled their ends of the deal. We've got two effective finals for this tournament tonight. Both the England men and the Wales women, England and Wales, men and women, have won all of their games. They've each won two of their games, both beaten Scotland and Ireland, respectively, amongst all these teams. So tonight, they're effectively playing for who's going to win this Four Nations tournament, the first ever to be held here in Wales. And you can already see out in the crowd, plenty of Wales fans here, England fans trickling in as well. It's going to be a very loud night tonight. And Wales looking to get this win. Kaz, England historically dominate this matchup, and I think they've dominated the tournament so far as well. What have you seen?
So 2 hours ago, I saw the most dominant defensive performance I think I've ever seen in a basketball game ever. England beat Scotland 94-40, and it was just incredible. They were pressing full court from the tip, and they were so impressive that it's going to be a really, really strong game today. It's going to be really tough for Wales to break that press. But we saw what Wales did in that game against Scotland yesterday, coming back from, they were 10 down with 3 minutes to go, and they stopped Scotland scoring for the last 3 minutes to win. So Wales are a very, very tough team, and they've got a lot of fight in them. So I think it's, we're going to have a clash here between the unstoppable defence and an energetic Welsh team.
This is going to be a lot of fun today, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let's take you through the England roster. Kaz, take us away. Who do we have on the England lineup today?
We have number 4, Lane Campbell. Number 5, Matthew Goodwin. Number 6, Ben Brown. Captain, number 7, Isaac Round. 8, Jason Sudeen. Number 9, Michael Amico. Number 10, Nedes Cholovinskas. Number 11, Ben Michaels. Number 12, Ashley Kitchen. Number 13, Zamuku Weluche Ume. Number 14, Enoch Wangoy. And number 15, Emmanuel Oyebadejo.
Out on the Wales side of things, number 5, Juan Roderick. Number 7, Jack Davis. Number 8, Lucas Davis. Number 9, Lucas Scotland. Number 11, Joe Thomas. Number 12, Josh Brown. Number 13, Connor Whitney Embleton. At 14, Oliver Wright. 15 is Sol Minty Walker. Captaining those sides today is number 20, Pete Walker. Number 21, Reese Grocott. And number 22, Reese Cornelius next to him. As you look at both teams, they'll line up here and get ready for the national anthem. We're going to go down to the court audio for both teams' national anthem ahead of the opening tip-off. Boy, Kaz, it doesn't get much bigger than this. It's hard not to get chills during both national anthems. Both teams will high-five as they head to center court. Just about 3 minutes left to go to the opening tip-off. You can feel it already, Kaz. This is a big one.
It is, and it is loud in here. We've got drums, we've got flags, we've got everything. At the Academy Finals a few weeks ago, we actually had someone with a wok in the crowd and a bin drumming. People getting creative because they needed to make some noise.
Not going to be much the case here today. There's going to be noise abundant throughout the arena. Both teams are going to go through some shooting drills before the start of the opening tip-off. Again, just under 3 minutes away for the opening tip. Now, Kaz, one thing you pointed out to me before the game, England out-rebound every single team they play against, and they've had some incredible rebounding stats so far throughout this tournament.
They have, and we saw it yesterday. So yesterday, they had 26 offensive rebounds, 26 defensive rebounds. In the game earlier today, 36 offensive, 37 defensive. You do not see that very often at all. And credit to England, because they are really, really working hard on the board, and that is what's making such a difference against the teams that they play against. Wales yesterday only had 4 second chance points and didn't have many offensive rebounds, so they're going to really need to step that up today to compete with England.
One of the big problems for Wales is going to be, like you said, they're on the offensive and defensive ends, rebounding the basketball. When you look at the box score and you look at the statistical comparison between the two sides, it's not pretty reading for Wales so far. They've ground out their victories. England dominate in everything, though. They shoot the ball better from 3, from 2, from the free throw line. They rebound 23 times more than Wales, 23 more rebounds in the game than Wales get per game. They pass the ball more. They've doubled the number of steals that Wales get per game. Every single stat except for turnovers, England lead in them. Wales have a lot to do ahead of this game today if they want to pull out this victory, Kaz.
Yeah, and England played a real all-around team game as well, not really depending on any one player. Players have stood out, but they've used the full roster. Both games, everyone's getting on the score sheet, and they're really, really rotating those minutes.
Now, as we get closer to the opening tip-off here, I'm Atticus Pead. Kaz Bullock joining me. We're also going to be joined here by Tom Guntrip. Tom is the assistant coach for one of Cardiff Met's men's basketball sides, along with, Tom, you coach for the Welsh national team quite a bit. We're excited to have you here.
Yeah, the assistant coach for the senior men's national team, and I've done some women's stuff as well. What an incredible occasion. It feels a bit like a cup final, doesn't it? You know,
yes.
There's plenty of Welsh fans in and there's plenty of English fans in as well, so I think regardless of what happens, it's going to be a very exciting occasion.
Doesn't matter which side you support. We've got Kaz here from England, we've got Tom here from Wales. Plenty of options throughout the game. I'm American, no stake in it, so no problems there. We're both, all of us here are excited for this game today. Kaz, Tom, who do you guys think is going to win this match, first of all?
England's going to win this matchup.
And I think I'll get fired if I say anything other than Wales. England have obviously got quite a bit of size across the board, and that's normally Wales' problem. However, Wales have got plenty of size, especially at the guard positions, and they've got a couple of big guys as well. I think the battle will be, can they control the defensive glass? They struggled with Scotland yesterday on that front. You know, and then can they look after the ball? England are probably going to bring out a full court press. So, you know, if they can break through that full court press, then I see them having a little bit of success in the half court.
Definitely so. We're moments away from the opening tip-off. Kaz, who do we have in the starting five here today for the England side? We actually don't even have the starting fives yet. They're both coming out of their lineups and huddles here. We'll give it a moment just for that to happen. Both teams will shake hands ahead of the opening tip-off here today. Again, this is a home game for Wales today. This is live from Archers Arena in Cardiff, Wales. Plenty of Welsh support behind the benches. We even got the Irish national team, the women's national team for Ireland, who stay behind for this game as well. I'm getting ready for the opening tip-off here. Both teams coming on the court. You can see a lot of size for England, but like Tom's just mentioned, Wales have a lot of size across their guard positions. This should be an even and contested matchup throughout the day. Going for the opening tip-off here will be number 15, Solminty Walker for Wales. And for England, number 11, Benjamin Michaels. Thank you for joining us live here on the BBL Player. We're very grateful for their support today and for helping us stream these games as we're just about ready to get underway. Ball is up in the air. Michaels knocks it back, and England will start us off with the ball here. Round, the captain, hands it off in the front court. Michaels gets it back. Welacheume at the top of the arc. Brown on the side, calling for somebody to go in behind. Doesn't get it. Finally it happens. There it is, off the glass. 2 early points for England. And then it's quickly stolen away. England going back quickly. Amako going inside, can't get it to drop. Rolls around. Eventually Lucas Scotland comes down with it.
Wales showing earlier 2-3 zone there. I think they've seen that England have only shot the ball 22% over the last couple of games, so they're daring them to beat them from outside, and I think that's probably a pretty sound strategy there for Nick O'Leary.
Along the top here, Oliver Wright. Wright, the captain of the first game for Wales in this tournament. Almost gets it stolen away from him. He's got 4 seconds left to go. He's going to take the deep three and airballs it out of bounds. Confusion there. He's asking for a foul, not going to get one. So Kaz, a good start for England.
Definitely, yeah, and again, putting the pressure on there, running out the shot clock as well, and they're picking up just where they left off with Scotland.
Both teams dominating this tournament so far, 2-0, both have beaten Ireland and Scotland. En route to this game right now. That three, off by Round. He'll get it back, and he'll get another opportunity. Passes it off, mid-range 2, off the iron, another offensive rebound from England. And Wales finally come down with it. Reece Cornelius will get it out to Pete Walker. Walker on the run. 2-on-2 here. Walker fakes, goes up strong. Hit on the hand, no foul. And England come back to down with it. Brown gets it back to the top of the arc. Another three from England. That one's off. Welacheume, big rebound under the double team, and then he steps out. Actually, there's going to be a foul called there on Wales. That'll be England's basketball out along the baseline.
And you see how England are doing such a good job just getting the offensive rebounds, just getting in there and rebounding.
They They've already had 3 offensive rebounds. You hear Coach Nico O'Leary for Wales not happy with that, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, if you're going to play a zone, you have to make sure, they're forcing the misses, but they've got to make sure they're cleaning up after themselves.
Well, they clean up that missed 3 from Welacheume. And now Wales with a chance to even up the score, take the lead here. Drive inside from Walker. Had an open lane, kicked it back anyway. Lucas Scotland, hero of that Scotland game for Wales, hit the game-winning free throws in the last minute. Pete Walker now, 7 seconds left to go. Walker drives, eventually gets it back. Deep shot, up and in, beats the buzzer. 3-2, Wales take the lead. England move back into the front court once more. Back to Amico. That shot from him, that one's going to be off the arc again. Walker taps it back, but it goes right to Amico's hands.
And another offensive rebound for England. And in the last game, they only hit 1 3-pointer. So they were getting all their points from inside, 72 points in the paint. And they're going to look to shoot a bit more threes in this game, you would expect, but they haven't been dropping so far.
Walker comes around the screen there, tries to lay it up, bounces around, and eventually it falls in. Wales 5-2 on top.
Pete Walker's a shifty guy. Once he gets in the key, he's already got that assist and then that strong finish. Once he gets in there, he's got a lot of upper body strength that he can use.
Used it well there. Another deep 3. That time it drops in. England get their first 3 on the board from Benjamin Brown.
And that's a great shot from Brown.
Found the open look and took advantage of it right away. Right here, double. He'll kick it back. Lucas Scotland will hand it over. Saw Minty Walker, foot on the line. No. England will come away once more. Deep pass, easily intercepted. Minty Walker hands it off. Right, step back, elbow shot. Spins in and out. Round now for England. Amico driving into the paint. 1-on-2 here. He'll kick it back. Another open 3. That time it's missed from Brown. And it's ripped back down here. Oliver Wright on the opposite end. Minty Walker, 1-on-1, gonna go up strong. Lays it up and inside.
That's a tough basket going up against Ben Michaels as well. Got a hand on that almost.
Sol's probably the best athlete in this team, and he's got a lot of upper body strength. But to finish like that is a really difficult proposition against someone with Benjamin Michaels' size.
Well, great finish. Wales liking the start they have so far. Ball on the ground. Minty Walker fighting for it. England still have it. 5 seconds left to go. The lead to get a shot up here. Kicked out to the corner. Round 3. Off the iron and out. And another offensive rebound. We're going to get another chance here. Another 3. Amico, it's in and out. We've got a foul there along the baseline. That's a foul on Isaac Brown. And this will be Wales basketball.
And you can see Wales are really trying to shut down Welacheume, who had a great game last game, 20 points in the first game against Ireland as well. You can see they're just driving to him straight away, doubling him, tripling him, to stop him get the ball.
7-5, Wales on top here. Tom, I know Wales are looking for some explosive plays here at home today. We heard a little talk in the locker room before. Wales weren't too impressed with the boring highlights England got on Hoops Fix and social media these past couple of games. They're looking for something better. Yeah,
I think there's a little bit of excitement about playing at home, and Joe Thomas there with that left, but he had a couple of dunks in the last game against Scotland, and I think they'll be hoping to come out and show a little bit about what they want Welsh basketball to be like.
They're off to a great start so far. 9-5 on top by 4. England trying to come back here. Deep shot again from Brown, air ball. Wales come down with it. Right under pressure here. And he stepped out on the baseline. England forced a quick turnover.
And that's just Lane Campbell pressuring the ball, and that's something, again, he's been doing in both games so far this tournament.
Lane Campbell, extremely impressive the past couple of games. Like you said, 11 points in the last game against Scotland just hours ago. He's looking for more here today. Another 3. That one's airballed. That's going to be Wales basketball.
So England look like they're trying something a little bit different in this game. They've been shooting a lot more threes than they have again at this point in the Scotland game. In the Scotland game, they were going straight inside. So I wonder if they're changing their tactics, trying to see if what they can do from the outside.
Wright picks up the dribble, trying to throw it inside to Minty Walker. He recovers it. Scotland gets it back. 10 to go. He's looking to drive, loses the handle. He'll get it back. 7 seconds left. Minty Walker calls a play. 4 to go. He'll have to take the shot. Drive, fake. Running, and it's not going to drop down, but he's got the free throws coming. 2 free throws to come for Sol Minty Walker and Wales.
They were seeing that strength there again. Obviously, clock running low, and And when you need a bucket or you need something to happen when the shot clock's going low, might as well throw it to probably your biggest guy and one of your stronger players and let him try and go 1v1. Sometimes there's a need for isolation basketball in those situations.
Minty Walker goes to the free throw line quite a bit, averaged 7 free throw trips per game in the Division II National Basketball League with the Cardiff Met Archers this season, only shooting 65% from the free throw line. Hoping to improve on that here. He's had a good game, good games throughout this entire tournament, averaging 11.5 points per game out of the last 2. That first shot knocked in. The Wales now doubling England's score, 10-5, bottom 5 minutes of the first quarter here. The Wales have already got 2 players back, anticipating the quick run out from England if they recover this rebound. Minty Walker's second free throw switches in. England now losing by 6.
Yeah, they didn't want to say anything while I was at the line, but he did joke to me earlier that it felt like the first time he did a pair of free throws all season with 2 clutch ones last night against Scotland. Good to see him continuing that form.
Continuing it well here at home in this tournament. England drive inside, 1-on-2, it's off. Scrapping for the rebound, White comes away with it. He's under heavy pressure immediately, but he gets it out well. Scotland drives. He's fouled from the back by Isaac Brown. That is Brown's second foul. He'll need to be substituted here, likely. This looks like Cholovinskas will come in for him. Actually, no. Natos Cholovinskas will come into the game and substitute out Benjamin Brown instead.
So we keeping round in. You know, that's a good decision. There's a really deep bench that England have got. So, you know, I don't think Coach Will Maynard's going to be too worried about that second foul just yet.
Not a single England player played more than 20 minutes against Scotland just hours before. They kept the team well rested. Knocking down the shot is number 12, Josh Brown. First points of the game for him. And a timeout called by Coach Will Maynard on the England bench. You can see it. Wales are feeling it right now, everybody. 13-5 in the lead at our first break.
With 6 minutes into the game, it feels like this could be the fourth quarter.
This is a great start.
You don't get to play at home very often in international basketball. You know, Wales, at the senior level, we sometimes have friendlies or games against USA Select. When you're playing for Wales against England in any sport, we always sit in football and rugby how much it means. It means just as much to these guys. And to play it in a proper international at home in Wales, no wonder they're hyped after a start like that. I can't blame them at all. It's got to be on the coaching staff here to make sure that everyone stays calm and level. I was chatting to them before the game. One of the first thing that they had on their sort of keys to the game was staying calm. You know, they knew there were going to be runs and ups and downs, about making sure that you just keep it sort of your energy and focus nice and consistent across the whole game.
Yep.
Of course, when the bench is as hyped as that, it can be difficult, but just making sure that they stay level, stay focused on what they need to do. I imagine that England are probably going to come out with a little bit more aggression and physicality here.
And I think Wales did a fantastic job of that at the end of the Scotland game as well, keeping their composure and being able to come back from that 10-point deficit in the last minute or so.
Yeah, I think it felt a little bit like they were slipping out of that game, and then also that that continuous focus. Say, right, now we're going to go and try something a little bit different, and they kept believing. And so then before they were like, we believe here. They all genuinely believe. They don't believe they're here to make up the numbers. They've already shown that. But they also, despite the size of the talent pool gap, they genuinely believe that they can beat England, and I think we're seeing that belief right now. And now it's going to be about their basketball ability to make sure that they keep going through the rest of the game.
Like you guys have mentioned, England, a lot of talent on their team. They got a deep bench to pull from. Jason Sudeen, number 8, into the game for the first time. Lane Campbell now on the ball, one of their best ball handlers and defensive pests. He's on it here. Matthew Goodwin just into the game as well for England. Campbell at the top. Goodwin drives, beats his defender, pull-up shot, got it. Quiets down the crowd after that timeout, 13-7.
Coach Maynard's going to be really pleased with that play coming straight out of the timeout, getting the basket.
Scotland shimmies around, tries to fake out the defender. He's got Sudeen to bite, coming inside, lays it up, can't get it to fall, but a great job there to draw the contact and go to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, that footwork there, there's a really precise footwork, baiting Sudeen into the foul. Sudeen's been putting up some big numbers in the ABL and for Flyers in D2, so he knows how to play basketball, but Lucas Scotland there showing the benefits of really working on the fundamentals of the game.
Scotland breaking into the Cardiff Met Archers side this season in the Division II National Basketball League, averaging about 4.5 points per game, played about 15 minutes per game in this season. It's been a big part of that team and will be a big part of it for years to come. You can already see he's had a big impact on the Welsh team as well as he knocks down both free throws. Wales back on top by 8 here.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the way that Lucas took to D2 basketball this year, being his club coach, and it's not easy for a junior to come in, and it did take him a couple of games to adapt to sort of the physical nature But once he got there and once he felt more comfortable, he was a really key part of their rotation by the end of the season, basically playing the backup point guard for us and allowing us to keep some of our great shooters like James Dorr off the ball to be a scoring threat.
England trying to conjure a response here. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. 14 to go. Campbell driving inside. He's under heavy pressure, losing that one. Cholovinskas 3 off the mark. And Wales with the rebound. Oh, and the pass to the front court. Wide open was Jack Davis, who just checked into the game, and that pass was too far.
And England getting a bit lucky there because that could have just increased Wales' lead to 10.
Big part of this game is the emotion. You can see it right now. This is an under-18 Four Nations tournament. First one in a few years, and the first one to be held in Wales. So Wales enjoying the home support right now, and this chance to go up against their rivals here. Ball knocked around on the deck. England come away with it, and a foul called. 2 free throws to come here. Going to the line is Enoch Wangoy. First minutes into the game for him. First free throw attempts to come here.
And you've just got 3 Wales players just absolutely smothering Sudeen as soon as he gets the ball. So real tough defense from Wales coming out.
They're swarming to the ball down in the paint. England struggling to deal with it right now, but they'll have 2 chances at the free throw line. Their first trip of the day here. And Wangoy will knock down the first one. Enoch Wangoy, part of that Manchester Magic EABL side and that Magic system. First, hits the first, misses the second. Still Minty Walker grabs down the rebound. Wales will come away once again. 15-8 on top by 7 here in the bottom part of this first quarter. Minty Walker gets it over to Jack Davis. Davis looking for help. He's looking specifically for Minty Walker, and then it's thrown out of bounds. Couldn't find an open space there.
And that's the pressure that England have been putting on the ball, and we saw that in the Scotland game, just making it really hard to make that pass.
England forced a couple turnovers for Wales now. They're dropping inside, looking for some more here. Goodwin fakes the shot, Euro step inside, loses the handle out of bounds off a Wales player. Still England basketball, 13 seconds left on the shot clock.
It looks like ball pressure's the name of the game here today. Some really good both on-ball pressure and off-ball pressure there, like I said, with England making that passing lane really difficult. You have to go back door. They've got long arms. There's not really that much space back door. This is a real sort of high-level game so far.
Deep shot from England, knocking it down. Hitting the shot is number 6, Ben Brown. He's up to 5 points.
And Ben Brown is such a dangerous player because he can hit that outside shot, and he will also drive to the basket and make an easy lay-in.
So a foul there. That one will be called on number 4, Lane Campbell. Nice work again from Lucas Scotland to draw that foul. The earlier you can get Campbell in foul trouble, he and Jason Sudeen are so aggressive defensively. You can get them into foul trouble, that's a good sign. And Scotland to the free throw line for 2 here.
And I've been really impressed with Lane Campbell so far in these few games. His full court press section, he moves his feet really well. But he's also got great control over the ball in the offense down that end of the floor. He's shown some really good signs for such a young player.
Yeah. Campbell been a big part of the team. He came off the bench in the Scotland game, but in the very first game for England, was just dominant as they took over against Ireland. Only scored 4 points, but moved the ball around really well and was a big part of their defensive setup. Scotland misses the second, and that one comes away off of Sudeen's hands. It's going to be Wales basketball. Look at another shot here. England couldn't corral that rebound, so just over 2:20 left to go here in the first. 16-10. Wales on top by 6. Trying to build on that lead now. England trying to recover after giving up that rebound. And then it's knocked away, and that's still going to be off an England player's hands. Off Goodwin. Wales basketball.
They're so close to the backdoor cut there for Brown on the play. Pass just off, but Jack Davies fighting after that loose ball and keeps it the same way.
Wales looking for an inbound here. They find Davis wide open in the corner. He'll take his time, shoot it. Off the back and out. And England finally come down with it. Sudeen's got it. It's knocked down. Wales bench asking for it to go out of bounds. It did not. Goodwin, quick 3. Off and out. Wales once again rebounding. Minty Walker rolls around, drives inside, kicks it back. His teammates weren't ready for it. Not much indication from him, honestly. And that one's thrown out of bounds, and a Wales turnover.
They're just trying to create for others there. The intent's good. Thomas had just slid down towards the corner a little bit more, and Minty Walker passes towards the vacant wing spot. But trying to create for each other off the dribble is a really positive sign.
Campbell spinning around, trying to work it inside, beats 2 defenders, goes up against a third. Scotland comes away with the rebound. Lucas Scotland, he loses it.
We're not seeing England putting a presence inside as much as we were in the last game against Scotland. They've been getting some of the offensive rebounds, but they're leaving quite a gap, which is interesting after being so successful at it the last couple of games.
Yeah, it's definitely different from the setup we've seen over the past couple of games. Running out of time here are Wales. 3 seconds to go. Deep three up. Looking for a foul. Not going to get one. England with the strong rebound. Breaking away here. It's knocked down. Wales almost have the steal. Knocked out of bounds there. But it's still going to be England basketball. Joe Thomas couldn't get it away.
Joe Thomas bringing that really electric presence. He sort of sparked the run in the Scotland game with his steals. Really good energy there. Part of the name of the game is the balance between just making sure that you're competing for as long as possible in the first quarter. They're sort of referred to it as 4 different games, but also making sure that guys are fresh after a long couple of days in case they need to be at peak condition right towards the end of the game. So it's a tough balance for both coaches to work out with their rotation, but probably especially more Wales.
Long couple of days for both teams. 2 games over the past 2 days, and their third here. That shot missed by Willie Ume. Ball on the ground. They're rolling around for it. Wales grab it. And they'll slow it down here with Jack Davis. He loses the handle. Lane Campbell wide open, steals it, goes up, and instead of the dunk, lightly taps it in. Almost losing his footing there. The Wales still keep hold of it. Right under extreme pressure here, gets it out to Minty Walker on the outlet. Top of the arc, wide open, 3, drills it!
Yeah, great composure to knock that down. We've missed a couple. He had an issue in the backcourt there, and that shows a sign of great mental focus to come in and knock that one down in a big occasion.
Giving Wales a 7-point lead. Campbell to respond. A little early in the shot clock, don't know about that one. And it's wrapped up here. We've got a jump ball, possession arrow pointing to Wales. Yaz, that shot seemed pretty early. I don't know why he's taking that 3 so early in the shot clock.
It did. And we've seen the ball movement that England have, and they've been really good and really considered about moving the ball around and taking the right shot, not taking a quick shot. So it seems like they're reacting a little bit differently in this game. Maybe a little bit thrown by how strong Wales have come out and the lead that they've taken early. First time England have been behind this early on.
Yeah.
So yeah, bit of a strange decision there, but I think Coach Will Maynard will discuss that in the timeout, and we'll see what they come back with out of the play. Interesting to note, though, as well, that England, having already taken 23 shots to Wales' 12.
23 shots to Wales' 12, but Wales on top 19-12 with about 17 seconds left to go here in the end of the first quarter. Tom, coming out of this break, I know Nick O'Leary just called a timeout to set this play up. Where are you going with the last few seconds here of the quarter?
I think I'm probably looking at a combination of Ollie Wright and Sol Minty Walker. And Sol being one of the bigger players, and Ollie Wright, he's played all season in D1 for Oakland's Wolves. As a team, they didn't have a great year, but for him playing 20 minutes a game as a junior in D1 is fantastic exposure, and they did really well in the EABL. They won the Southern Conference. Yep. So he's been playing at a high level all year. So I'm probably looking at him and Sol Minty Walker being one of the bigger guys and an athletic guy. He can both roll or pop. So probably some combination of those actions, easy for me to say. But also using Jack Davis, Lucas Scotland to stretch the floor. Looks like Pete Walker may be back in the game and Ollie Wright potentially out. So, maybe looking to space the floor and just go with 2 of your best players in a straight-up pick and roll. But also potentially just to make sure that they've got something to break the full court press. The last thing you need when the ball's being inbounded in a bit of a difficult situation in your own backcourt is to turn it over unnecessarily. So it's probably half to draw up a play and half just to make sure that they get the ball in, get it over the halfway line, and get into their offense.
Well, if it comes to Oliver Wright, he's a 30% three-point shooter in the Division I National Basketball League, shooting 35% from 3 in the EABL. It's a good option to have. 8 seconds left to go. Scotland dribbling around. He's under heavy pressure here from Brown. Now he's double teamed, moves it back. 3 to go. He's looking for the shot on his own here, under pressure, and picks it up, throws up the shot. I don't think that's what you drew up out of the timeout, and that one's off the rim. But 19-12, Wales on top at the end of the first quarter, guys. Intense game so far.
Yeah, a really, really strong start from Wales. They should be really impressed with what they've done. I would like to see England move the ball around a bit more, which definitely worked for them so well in the last couple of games. So I'd like to see what they're going to adapt and change into the second quarter.
Tom, obviously that play not what Wales were looking for, I think, right there. But overall, what are your impressions of not just that play, but the first quarter for Wales?
Like you said, a really strong start. I think they've still got loads to improve on. Too many offensive rebounds, and part of that comes some of the ball movement early from England was really good, and it drew them out of position. And then they used their size to capitalise on the balls. They just couldn't get their putbacks to go on the whole. But from the offensive point of view, they're being denied really well, so they're going to have to go backdoor hard. I'd like to see them maybe look at that backdoor pass. I think they looked for Sol Minty Walker on one, but fundamentally, if you can't find a way to break that pressure either through using screens or through cutting well, then you're going to keep facing that sort of pressure. So they've got to find a way to be strong on the ball. Ball screens might not necessarily be the order of the day here. England's bigs can move their feet really well.
Yep.
And we just saw in that last possession that everyone was staying down and staying in front very well. So the pick and roll probably just bringing 2 people to the ball. So looking to space the floor and maybe use off-ball screens to generate the sort of movement that Wales are hoping for to then generate those open threes. If they can keep getting the ball to shooters, that's probably the name of their game.
Well, Wales looking to come out strong here at the start of the second quarter. A big thank you, of course, to all of our sponsors who've helped make this event possible. Cardiff Metropolitan University for hosting this event, and BBL, the British Basketball League, for hosting this on the BBL Player. Thank you as well to iPro Hydrate for keeping us all hydrated here, staff, coaches, and players, and for Givova, our official national team kit sponsor for Wales, along with Wilson, our official basketball for Basketball Wales, and Dynamic, our official sports rolling partner for the game today, and Basketball Jones, our event sponsors, provided all the volunteer T-shirts for the staff here today. England will get us underway after their lowest scoring quarter of any quarter throughout this tournament, with just 12 points. Goodwin immediately goes inside and knocks down a 2. They're up to 14.
And that's what you want to see from England, going inside and being able to get those baskets.
Great start for them here. Walker, Welchayume guarding him, has about a foot on Walker. Goes down as he gets the pass out. Right, elects not to take the step back. He's under pressure. Minty Walker calls for a screen. He's got it coming. Gets the switch, drives inside, 1-on-2. Wild layup, doesn't fall. And then a foul after the play.
He went to the rim hard. He just about turned the corner on the pick and roll defender, but couldn't quite squeeze through the gap. I'd just like to see them get into those actions a little bit earlier. Right now, relying on shots with 5 seconds or less in the shot clock, it'd be fine if you move the ball well for 20 seconds, but they're struggling to move the ball around a little bit. So I'd just like to see them try and get into some stuff a little bit earlier. I know it's difficult against the pressure, but I think that'll be the key for them.
England taking an early shot of their own here. Brown misses it. Walker goes up strong. As he double clutches it, he keeps it in play. Walker runs up the floor here. He'll slow things down once again, get it back to Scotland at the point. 14 seconds left for Wales here. Minty Walker looking for Walker inside, can't find him. Wright, knocked down from Grocott. Wright's got it, running, floater, off the back, running around, and eventually England come down with it. Wangoy going coast to coast, drive inside. Scotland looking for the charge, not going to get it. And Wangoy will go to the free throw line for 2.
It just wasn't quite set there. You could see him try and take that charge early, but there was enough time for Wangoy to get round him and shoulder to shoulder. The call will always go the way of the attacker.
And again, second time down, England looking to get inside. And, you know, the 3 ball's not dropping for them, and it hasn't been the last couple of games, but, you know, they're 1 of 15 at the moment. But when they've gone inside, it's worked for them in today's game, and that's what they probably need to keep doing.
They've only got 4 points in the paint right now, do England. They put 72 points in from the paint 2 hours ago against Scotland. So they'll certainly be looking for more than just those 4 they have so far. And both free throws bricked off by Enoch Wangoy there. Wales will say thank you very much and go to the opposite end on their own. Still leading 19-14, 8:40 left to go in the second. Walker gets it over to Scotland at the top. 10 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Scotland moving around, drive inside, bumps off of Goodwin, and that shot missed again.
And you also wonder how much of an effect it's going to have on England, having played just 2-3 hours ago.
Brown inside, hook shot, swatted away by Grocott. Pead Walker with it, and he's fouled there in the backcourt. Does well to draw that early foul from Wangoy.
I think that's fantastic timing there from Grocott. Right at the top there, I don't think there was any chance of a foul. And that's a really impressive play. Whenever you've got that sort of length advantage that Grocott had in that situation, you've got to make the most of it. And sometimes on the defensive end, you do need a little bit of a bailout with a block.
Wales get it there. Grocott will come off the floor now for number 22, Reece Cornelius, the starter for the Wales team today, coming back onto the court. Lucas Scotland collect the inbound immediately under pressure. But he breaks away from it well. Ashley Kitchen guarding him, beats him. Scotland driving. Oh, and he was looking for Minty Walker, and just a miscommunication there, out of bounds.
I think Minty Walker probably should have stayed out on the perimeter there. Scotland had broken through, and I think the drop-off pass down to the big and the baseline spot was probably more on in that situation. But under that pressure, I think with the last 2 possessions before that, Wales had missed a guy either coming off a screen or on the backdoor cut. They are going to have to look to find those opportunities. They're not going to be able to sustain a high level of scoring without putting some pressure on the rim.
Goodwin sends it inside. England trying to penetrate that paint. Can't. Brown take the pull-up jumper. No. Scotland rips it down. Minty Walker on the run, goes back to Scotland here. He'll slow things down on the perimeter. Walker driving on Goodwin. Trying to go up, dumps the pass off, and it's stolen away.
Almost found that guy in the dunking spot with just good help from England.
That three missed. It goes right back to Goodwin's hands. Brown going to have another chance here. Gets it over. Welacheume, three. And that one's still off, but another offensive rebound. It's the 7th for England so far. Welacheume driving inside. Pushes on Walker. Walker trying to keep him out. And an offensive foul eventually called on Welacheume. Great work there from Pead Walker defensively.
Really, really, really great defense from the Wales team.
Like the referee was making up for that first one. I thought the foul was on the first push, and then he decided to call it as part of a charity thing, I think.
And interesting to see as well, Wales with 7 turnovers in the game. England with only 1. But Wales still on top. And
right as you say, Kaz, another Wales turnover there. That's their 8th. And then out of bounds with some England basketball along the baseline. England forced 43 Scotland turnovers last game. They've got 8 right now. So that's a decent start. You just need to take advantage of those. England only scored 4 points off those turnovers.
Yeah, they need to be able to convert on those. You can't miss those chances in a game that's going to be as close as this one.
England on the inbound here. Looking for a screen on the back door. They get it over to Ben Brown. Welacheume at the top. Still hasn't scored yet. A drive inside. And a running floater there. That one's going to drop in for Ben Michaels.
They're probably the worst place you can commit a turnover. Right under your own hoop, and eventually Wales made to pay for that.
It's 19-16 now. England down by just 3. It's a 1-possession game. Wright calls the play. 8 seconds to go. Screen waiting. Goes around to the side of it. Dumps it off. Minty Walker going up strong. Lays it in. Great find there for Oliver Wright.
That was an amazing pass.
Yeah, I mean, that dunk off spot again, but Ollie Wright there just showing that class, getting into the key, baiting them in, and then dishing off. They just need to keep going to the formula that works.
Wright's going to grab another steal here for Wales. They're on the run. Almost a travel there on him. But he does well to get the ball out of his hands. Plenty of time left for Wales here. Minty Walker's looking for a drive. He won't have it. It's over to Lucas Davis, and now it's with Pead Walker on the weak side. Going to take the spot at 3, and it's just a little off. But they grab the offensive rebound anyway. Minty Walker sends it in. Walker. Hook shot, no. Offensive board once again here. Going up for the mid-range. Still no. Couldn't take advantage of. They had multiple chances. Quickly on the opposite end. Brown driving inside. Sends it back. Goodwin fakes from 3. Gets the defender to bite. Pull up 2. And misses it. But another offensive board. Ben Brown. Goodwin. Now he's got another 3. Still no. And it's tipped around, and Cornelius brings it down. On the run here, Pead Walker behind the defense, 1-on-2. He's forced down to the baseline, under heavy pressure. Hacked on the way up, no foul. England once again coming away with it. It's back and forth. Welacheume inside, fakes, Euro step, no. How did nothing go in there?
Well, a great defense from Ollie Wright there, staying in front, staying vertical, making sure he didn't foul. It might be the best bit of defense I've seen all day.
Cornelius, big rebound, going up again. Still no. Nothing left to drop. Another offensive rebound. Right, swatted away. And finally, 2 free throws to come. Ben Michaels confused. He's called for the foul there.
This is a battle, isn't it? This is going to be a slogfest, this one.
Well, you can see it already. 21-16. Wales on top by 5. I mean, it is just back and forth. Both teams going strong, driving to the hoop on every possession, trying to make the other team pay. And Wales finally come out with it on that one with 2 free throws here. But this is breathless, guys.
It is. England almost feel like they're playing a 7 seconds or less Phoenix Suns style of play at the moment with all the shots they're getting up and the running they're doing.
Exactly. Wright knocks down the first free throw. He's an 82% free throw shooter in the National Basketball League, averaging about 6 points per game with that Oakland's Wolves side this season. And he knocks down the second as well.
I think there's a bit of a theme that we've seen across the tournament. There's sort of been less foul calls per game as we've gone on right at the start. I think everyone was excited, referees, players. They're starting to just let them play a bit more, and it's quite an experienced crew, this as well.
Welacheume kicks it to the outside. Campbell, 10 to go, drive inside, beats everybody, little hands off the glass and in. First points for Emmanuel Oyabedejo.
And what a pass from Campbell on that possession.
On the opposite end once more. Wales looking for a quick response here. Lucas Davis stuck at the top, trying to hand it off to Walker, and it's going to be over and back, and a bad turnover there.
And there's that off-ball pressure that, as mentioned, they're playing in the passing lanes. You know, it forces the pass just a bit too wide for Walker there. I think they need to look to go back door, especially if they're playing out 5 feet past the three-point line. If you've got your floor spaced properly, there should be plenty of space around the free throw area to be able to throw those backdoor passes.
Couldn't find one there. England now trying to take advantage. They're down here, deep shot, got it to fall. 3 for Ben Brown. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds there. That one's off of Brown's hand. It's still Wales basketball. Ben Brown now sitting on 8 points. I think England's starting to heat up a little, Kaz.
Yeah, they are. They're getting back to the things that have worked best for them. They've been able to get inside. And if Ben Brown's going to start hitting threes, that's going to be a game changer.
Over right takes it up the court now. He beats most of the defense, and he'll be forced to pull back here. Good recovery there from Isaac Round. Looking for an option. A bad leadoff pass inside, knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be England basketball. Another Wales turnover once again, guys. That not looking good for them. That's their 11th.
Yeah, they went back door. Lucas Scotland went back door. Pete Walker went back door. They found Pete Walker. Just really great help from Oliver Joe there, just to make sure he stepped in and got in that passing lane and eventually forced that turnover. You know, they're Wales starting to understand now that there is that space potentially there to take advantage of.
23-21. England down by 2. Round from 3 to take the lead. It's off the mark, but they grab the offensive rebound again. Campbell, wide open. Brown, 3. Still no. Brown, another offensive board. It's rolling around on the deck. We've got a foul called. That one, I believe it's going to be on Wales. It's on Wales' Pete Walker. And that's Walker's first foul, England basketball.
And if you're Wales, you've got to be pleased that you've got 11 turnovers and you're still in the lead.
Although I don't think you'd be pleased with that trend that you mentioned before the game, Kaz. 10 offensive rebounds for England to go with their 11 defensive rebounds. That trend seems to be a problem so far.
Yeah, then yesterday's game against Scotland, Wales managed to give up, I think it was 28 offensive rebounds to Scotland. But Scotland only had, I think, 25 defensive rebounds. So when a team's getting more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds, you know you've got a little bit of a weakness there. And England will have seen that, and they'll be deliberately looking to exploit that, especially with the size they've got on the floor right now.
Well, after that turnover, Wales will take possession of the basketball. Just a 4th turnover for England in this game. Scotland now, one-on-one. This should be a mismatch he can take advantage of. Beats Oyebadejio, loses the handle, knocked out of his hands. Brown on the opposite end, driving inside, one-on-one, beats him, and he lays it in. And a timeout called by Wales head coach Nick O'Leary, and we are back to a tie game. England have come roaring back here in the second quarter. And guys, this is intense. It's a tie game once more.
This is an 11-4 run by England in this quarter, and they're going to be really pleased with how they have responded to that early Wales lead. They're moving the ball about better than they were in the first quarter, which does work for them when they're taking the time to hit the shots. They don't need to rush the shots. There's a lot of the game left, and they're not behind enough to need to do that. And when they do move the ball about, it does work for them.
Well, 5 assists for England in the game. 4 of those have come in the second quarter. Tom, Wales, of course, they need to tighten things up defensively right now to stay on top in this game.
Yeah, they need to just make sure that they're boxing out. We've just referenced it again, but you can force a miss on the first one, and England are tending to miss most of their first chance threes. These rims here in the sports hall and these new Wilson basketballs, they're going to bounce fast. So guys have either got to be boxing out sort of towards the hoop and force the players under the hoop, and then you can go out and get it and get out. And the guards at the top have really got to be making sure that they're on it there to get that ball and then go out in transition, because scoring in transition is a lot easier than trying to play half-court offense against this England team. It's going to be quite a big mental test, I think, this now. You've had a big lead, you had the timeout where everyone was hyped. England have come roaring back, like I said. What do you do now? Have you still got your focus? Are you still sticking to your processes? You've just been taking a bit of a haymaker from England. What have you got in return here?
This is one of the toughest moments of the tournament for both these sides. England really have not been challenged all that much. They dominated Scotland in the past couple of hours. They beat Ireland pretty handily yesterday. Wales had the big comeback against Scotland, and then obviously before that, they had a nice win over Ireland by 19 points to start their tournament off. But this is going to be the biggest challenge for both teams now. Big rivalry, looking to come out on top. How do you respond here after England's big run? And if you're England, how do you manage to stay on top? Stuck in the backcourt. They do get it forward, though, through Lucas Scotland. And now it's out on the wing. Scotland looking to get the ball back. He'll drive inside, and they'll kick it back to the top with Walker. Walker spins it around, comes inside the paint, beats 2 defenders, goes down, hands it off. Cornelius going up, it's stuck. And they still come away with it. 3 seconds left to go. We have to get a shot up, doesn't see it. And they still don't. Oh, they finally do. And it's not close. England basketball, they'll need to reset it out on the baseline after the shot clock violation.
And a great job by England there to really put the pressure on and force another 24-second violation.
Wales struggling to find the shot they wanted there. Obviously, a bit strange after the ball rolled around. They lost a few precious seconds there. And we got another timeout called by Coach Will Maynard here, looking to reset things for England once more. So lots of timeouts here. We're getting near the end of the first half. 3 minutes and 3 seconds left to go. It's a tie game, and that first quarter was just a roaring start. And here, things have slowed down a little. England starting to get back on top, and they're tied this game up with 3 minutes left to go. What will England try to do as they come out of this timeout, Cass?
I think they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, putting the pressure on. You might see them pick up the defence full court now as well, which they haven't been doing, or not as much as they were doing against the Scotland team, and just keep... I think they want to go inside. Like Ben Brown's hit a couple of threes, but when they get inside, it works for them. They can get those points in the paint, and that's why we're seeing them not get quite as many rebounds, because the three-point shot's going out, and it's obviously bouncing out further. They've got the players in the paint to get the rebounds, but the ball's it's kind of bouncing straight back.
Yes. Now, Tom, you just mentioned a minute ago what Wales need to do defensively, but offensively right now, who are you looking to take them out of this slump at the moment?
Yeah, I think Ollie Wright's got to come back in, and he's got to be the lead ball handler alongside Lucas Scotland. They've got the best handles, but also once they get in front of their guy, they've got a little bit of that straight line speed necessary. Keeping the bigs right down on the baseline in that dunker spot, just to try and draw the England bigs away for a little bit. Or they potentially need to go to a 5-out setup. They tend to go 4-out, 1 in, but a 5-out setup, trying to keep that key perfectly clear for those backdoor cuts, could be where they need to go for this. Depends if they believe that either their smaller guys have got the defensive chops to defend big, or if their offensive guys have got the perimeter chops to play out there. But they do need to create a little bit more space, just in around that free throw line area. Once they can get the ball in there, they're dangerous. They're finding passes. They're taking photos. They're getting to the free throw line. It's just about getting in there first.
Well, they'll look to get inside here. England, though, on the attack. They'll look to start things off again after the timeout here. 3 minutes left to go in the first half. We're tied at 23. Isaac Brown on it here. Sends it back to Campbell. Campbell loses it a little bit. Slow things down here. Drive inside, back to the corner. Brown, free, no. Campbell loses it, and Scotland takes it down.
That corner's going to be open a lot. Wales seem to show a 1-3-1 zone there. They may have shifted to a 2-3, but against a 1-3-1, you've got to make sure you're there for the corner.
Oh, inside. How was that one missed? But it doesn't matter. Josh Brown's going to go to the free throw line for 2 opportunities after missing the gimme.
You just got to forget about that one. Once you get you've got a second chance to get to the free throw line, don't worry about it. Just go and knock the free throws down. Sometimes it happens. Like we just said, with these rims and these balls, it feels like a lot of gimmies maybe missing. You just got to mentally forget about that one. Blank it out. It never happened. Move on.
So it's just a really good pass that you want to see again on the highlight reel.
Yes, definitely so. Pete Walker's great pass over to Sol Minty Walker, who then checked it out to Brown there. Brown misses the first free throw. He's coming from Cardiff City, part of that 7-5 Cardiff City squad in the Division III Men's Southwest Conference. They finished 4th there. Bristol basketball won that division. So second free throw here from Brown. He can't knock down either. And England will gratefully take it away.
That was a great bit of boxing out from Ben Brown on that possession.
Brown been a big part of the England attack so far. Drive inside, and that shot airballed. Walker, another long pass to Sol Minty Walker here. One-on-one, takes it inside, stiff arms the defender away, and then it's blocked back.
And again, another great piece of defense from Ben Brown.
Drive, inside, handoff, layup. England back on top.
And Sudeen back in the game for England is going to be a real big boost for them.
I haven't seen him a whole lot in this game.
No, was it 2 early fouls?
That's 2 though. Early fouls causing problems for him. Just the 1 early foul. But he hasn't been on the court much. Just 3 minutes of action so far. Pete Walker taking the 3 and airballs it out of bounds. Brown trying to recover it, but he just throws it to an England player instead. Goodwin now will take it up the court, hands it out to the interior, and a big rebound from Scotland gets it over to Walker.
Sudeen with 7 steals in the last game.
Scotland, 16 to go, 1 minute 30 left, and then a foul called there. Does well to draw that foul from Michael Abaco. It will be Wales basketball. Scotland at the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, they need to get that ball movement back. The isolation basketball it isn't their strong point, and it's not going to work for them on a consistent enough basis. When they do stretch the floor, they go back to the old school fundamentals. I mentioned the boxing out. The old school fundamentals are fundamentals for a reason. It's the things that everyone needs to have. So Lucas Scotland going for the swim arm, push, get free, they need to go a little bit back to basics on some of that stuff just to help facilitate that ball movement.
Well, Scotland will take advantage of the foul anyway. He's got 5 points so far, all 5 of those from the free throw line. Minute 33 left in the first half. We're back to a tie game. England can take the lead once again here. Ben Brown, leading scorer with 10 points on the game. Trying to go inside, they can't, and flip it back to Goodwin. He drives and tries a little shifty pass, but it's off the Welsh team. And England basketball again.
Yeah, definitely a 1-3-1 zone there, so they're just going to be looking to force it into areas they don't necessarily want. Wing threes off the dribble, that sort of thing.
Judine driving around, kicks it back. Campbell found some space in the interior. He's stuck, and then a foul called. That foul, I think it's on Pete Walker. It is. The crowd hates it. You hear boos everywhere, and that's a big problem. That's Pete Walker's second foul. We'll go to the free throw line for 2. Will Lane Campbell here?
Two refs did call the foul. And I think two refs out of 3 have called that, and the third ref wasn't supposed to be looking there.
They were pretty close to it as well.
You're going to struggle to argue with that one, aren't you?
Campbell does knock down the first free throw. Campbell, part of that Charnwood Riders team, went 13-1 and won the WEABL 83-74. They won the final. Plays 32 minutes for them per game. That's a big part of their offense, but he misses that other free throw. Oh no! What is Walker doing? Oh no, he just shot a 3 in his own basket and then turned it over. Wow.
I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, I don't think I have.
That's there's a sign that the pressures of the game are going to happen. There's a few smiles and smirks out there. He just needs to totally forget about that.
Just a mental block.
I've seen it
put it
straight
aside.
off the tip off, but I don't think I've ever seen it.
I've
never seen it live straight after that. Obviously, that foul playing on his mind there.
Yeah, he just needs to put it out of his mind. Just come back into the game fresh.
Well, they were talking about wanting to go viral, and he may have had his wish there.
Unfortunately, that's a tough one. Pete Walker gives away 2 points, but England are trying to return the favor here. Lane Campbell with the foul before the ball even went in. So this will send Wales to the free throw line again. I'm trying to figure out who's going to take these 2 free throws. Looks like Scotland will be the man to do it. Wow.
There's a bit of a weird energy in here. People trying to process what's just gone on.
That was crazy. I mean, this is a rivalry game, of course, lots of emotion. This is a very intense game, but wow, I've never seen that happen off a missed free throw. Walker shot to the wrong hoop.
I think it would have been better if he made it. Because I think you
Wouldn't
can't score in your own basket, so they wouldn't have had to worry about the offensive rebound and putback. So I think it would have been better off going in. It's the one time, I wish he'd scored an own basket there.
It's a good point. Does that rebound count as offensive for Lane Campbell there? Well,
both, one of each, just to be fair, yeah. And he's just got to forget about that. He's playing at the back of that 1-3-1. He's got a lot of key responsibilities down there. He's got to refocus.
1 point England lead. Goodwin 3 off. And another offensive rebound, but stolen away here. Right hands it off. Minty Walker on the run. Dunks it down. Wales back in the lead. England to respond quickly here. They've got time. Drive inside. Sudin can't find anything. Goes back. Goodwin. Welucheume for 3. And he got it.
Oh, that's big.
England shutting things down immediately.
This is just a back and forth game. This is a very exciting game.
Welucheume with a great response after that dunk. England back out on top, 31-29, 17 seconds left to go. 6 seconds of a shot game clock. Right, inside, lays it up, off the glass and out. England with a chance for one more shot. 8 seconds left to go. Sudin, Goodwin, not going to take the 3 here. Kolominskas, great three-point shooter. He's going to pull off from deep 2 instead. In and out. And Wales cannot throw up a shot before the end of the first half. And that's how things will end after a crazy first half, 31-29. England on top by 2 as we head into the break. Guys, I'm out of breath. That was an amazing end to this half.
Wow.
It was, I know. we're all just quite mind blown by what's just happened. Absolutely fantastic second quarter. I'm still thrown back here.
It's incredible. There's the dunk that Wales were after, and the reaction from the crowd. What an amazing occasion, and that is big from Welucheume there. Just to ignore all of that, ignore all the noise going on, and wait to just kill the energy in the building.
Yeah.
Before we go to a quick halftime break, we're going to have an interview here with number 5, Matthew Goodwin. Matthew Goodwin, we'll get him set up in about 30 seconds' time. We'll be back for an interview here in our interview studio. I thought it too. Would have been better if it had. It wouldn't have counted, but either way.
Nah, you should have got an assist though.
No kidding. We weren't sure if it was an offensive rebound or not. For Campbell after that, I mean, that was just crazy. So we're here live with Matthew Goodwin, just here at the halftime break. Matthew, that was a crazy first half. Lots of energy here. You guys are up by 2 at the break. First reactions from you?
A bit shocking with the crowd. They're obviously into it, but it's fun. We're having fun playing, so it's good.
You can tell you guys are having fun out there. Massive 3 here at the end of the half from Will Cheume to keep you guys on top by 2 as you head into the break. What do you guys need to improve, though, coming up against Wales in the second half?
I think we're playing well. We just need to make our shots. We just need to wait for our shots to fall. But if that happens, we should be good.
Okay.
And get back. We need to get back on defense.
I like it. Matthew, thank you for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, thank you for joining us here for the first half of action live on the BBL Player. Just an incredible rivalry game so far, 31-29, England in the lead. We'll head into about an 8-minute break and be back for the start of the second half, live here from Cardiff, Wales. England on top, 31, Wales 29. Welcome back, everybody, for the start of the second half here, live from Cardiff, Wales. England on top, 31-29, 20 minutes left of some heated rivalry basketball here in the Under-18 Four Nations Tournament. Guys, what a first half we saw, and I'm sure we've got a great second half coming up as well on top of that.
Absolutely. We've almost had a tale of 2 quarters here. First quarter, England go down quite early on. Wales finishing with a 19-12 lead that quarter. England flipping it back to take the lead as we're going into the third after putting on some really, really tough defence and swinging the ball around, getting inside. Just some really, really back and forth, exciting play for both teams.
Exciting play is an understatement, I think it's fair to say. Tom, from the Welsh side of things, they like what they see so far, but they're not on top. What do they need to do here in the second half?
Yeah, I think the defense, like Kaz mentioned, it really is suffocating them. They need to make sure that they find a way of getting open early and moving the ball around. So they've got to look for the backdoor cuts. They've got to look for the space. Some of their off-ball screens, they're creating opportunities to be open. They're just not quite finding them. So they just need to look sort of beyond the ball, and the coaching staff be saying, "Yeah, keep setting those screens, and we just got to look to let the ball fly a little bit." And then on the defensive end, if they can control the defensive glass, which they've struggled to do all tournament, if they can control it or even get even on it, then that'll be a massive boost for them. If they can get out in transition, they don't have to worry about the pressure.
Well, Wales have actually out-rebounded England 33-26 in the first half. Problematic, though, for Wales is that England have 11 offensive rebounds, Kaz. They've kept that theme throughout the entire tournament. Not only that, England have only turned the ball over 5 times. They've forced 14 Welsh turnovers, and England have 13 points off of those. That's really causing problems right now through England's defense.
And that's concerning because really at the moment, the only thing that England aren't doing too well is shooting the ball, which sounds quite obvious, but they're taking a lot of shots. They're a high-volume shooting team. They've shot 47 already, and once they start dropping, that's going to be a real problem if they keep those turnovers tight like they have done.
Neither team has shot the ball particularly well here in the first half. 26% shooting from Wales, just 8 of 30 from the field, 13 of 47 for England. So 17 more shots that England have managed to put up. Wales, again, they're giving up those offensive rebounds. They just need to stop letting those happen, and they can stay in this game. They're only down by 2. They've got the home crowd momentum. Wales fans have been very loud here throughout the first half and the halftime break. They're looking for more here coming out for the second.
Yeah, I think if you'd have asked the coaching staff, honestly, would you be okay being down 2 at half-time? Yeah, we'll shake hands on it. Thank you very much. Let's start the last 20 minutes. They it's going to be a challenge, but they genuinely believe that they could do it. Down 2 is almost nothing really. You almost just don't have to think about it.
Back on the floor here, Wales start us underway with the original starting 5 that they had with the game's opening. Got us going here. Wright gets it over to Pete Walker with 10 seconds left to go. Walker driving inside, lays it up off the glass. No, he's going to get the offensive rebound. Shot clock reset.
And part of that pressure is that if you can turn the corner, you've got to make sure that when you turn the corner, you go with speed, you go with aggression, go with intent, and try and make them pay.
Scotland on the pull-up, air ball, and then it's thrown back by Cornelius, but it doesn't matter. England to take it to the opposite end. Brown driving, kicks it back. Kitchen. Not going to take the 3. This time Brown will. It's off the glass and out. Cornelius, big rebound. Right now on the opposite end, a 2-on-2 here. Wright to pull it back. Will drive inside now. Pushes off the defender and tries to float it up. No, but they come away with the board anyway. Wright from 3. It's up, and it's off. Kitchen now racing to the opposite end, coast to coast here. Gets it back. Brown not going to take the 3 this time. Gets it out to the wing. They'll drive inside once more. Kitchen on the opposite end from 3. Ashley Kitchen's got it. 5-point England lead.
And there's the downfall of the 2-3 tone. That sometimes you're not going to be able to get out to shooters. And if England do start to knock down threes at a high rate than they have been so far, then it's going to force some real defensive adjustment from Wales.
And I like what England did on the play. They're moving the ball around a lot more, taking more time off the shot clock than they have done in previous possessions, and it worked. They got the open shot, they got a good look from Kitchen, and he nailed the three.
Cornelius to inbound here for Wales. Lots of pressure here in the front court. We have a whistle here. I think they're talking to Nick O'Leary, making sure no technical foul called. So that's good for Wales. And they'll keep possession of it here. Scotland collects the inbound. And England putting on a lot of pressure immediately. We've seen Ireland do a lot of that today. England trying to follow suit. Right now, gets it over to Minty Walker on the far side, driving inside, and a reach-in foul. If that's on Round, that's a big problem. That would be Round's third. And we're going to have 2 shots to come from that somehow. That looked like that foul was 3 steps before the shot went up, guys.
Well, I'll call one of them a 0 step and forgive it. But Sol's got such long legs, and he does pick up quite early. He's someone who tries to make the most of 2 steps and potentially a 0 step. I'm fine with that call.
Well, Minty Walker here at the free throw line. That foul was on Isaac Round. That's problematic. He's the captain for the team today. He's already got 3 fouls. Was out for a lot of that first half with 2 fouls, and then Minty Walker misses the second. 29-34. Wales could not cut the gap there. Welcheume from 3, and he's got it!
And England heating up from 3 now. This could be dangerous.
Now 5 of 28 are England from 3. Welcheume now with 6 points. That's a big problem for Wales. He's averaging 18 per game so far in this tournament.
And part of the problem here, sorry, Atticus, point of attack, Lucas Scotland, best ball handler on the team, but he's being guarded by someone who's probably got 3 or 4 inches on him, and there's a prime example of why that's an issue.
You just read my mind, Tom. I was going to mention the exact same thing. England take full advantage of that mismatch, and now they've got the ball again. Kitchen 3 straight away, and it's too far. Going up for the board, and Pete Walker fouls Ben Brown on the base here. That is Pete Walker's 3rd foul for Wales now.
The size advantage really has an impact in multiple ways, but you're forced to get a little bit more creative when you're trying to box out guys who have got 3 or 4 inches on you. And a prime example there, when you're slightly out of position, how bad it can be.
Welcheume tries to hand it inside the basket, can't do it. Walker on the other end, one-on-one, going up strong. He's going to be fouled, and it's going to drop. Although Minty Walker touched the basket, they may wave this one off as a result. The foul should still stand, but Minty Walker grabbed the basket after. I don't know if you can let that one count, guys.
I think there we go. They're deliberating there whether the ball had just, I think, got below sort of the line of the net there, and whether or not it had an impact on the shot. Once it's not really touching any twine, it's okay.
Kind of late.
Yeah, I think he's got to be careful there, and I'd rather he'd gone for the traditional just slap on the backboard around the side, but he's going to get away with that one, and I think it's probably the right call there.
Well, regardless of what we think, the referees will let that one stand. So the bucket stands. Walker's going to go to the line for one more, trying to make this a 3-point play. Reese Cornelius coming off the floor. Josh Brown coming back on. So 1 shot here for Pete Walker. Walker is on 4 points now, and his first free throw attempt of the game today. Knocks it in. Wales complete the 3-point play, and they're now down by 5. And a second sub here from Wales. Coming back onto the court once more is number 11, Joe Thomas. England to take us away here. Brown takes it up the court. Still the game's leading scorer with 10 points from him. 2 of 8 from 3. Welcheume gets it back. Round wide open. Triple, and he got it.
That's Round's first points of the game, and Atticus, we're back where we were yesterday. Just 1 more player to get on the scoreboard for England.
Everyone on England scoring right now. Ball on the deck, and we've got a jump ball here. Great defense from England. They force it to go down, and the possession arrow pointing England's way, so that's effectively a turnover they force now. And you can see Zamoku Welcheume asking for the ball to be sped up a little bit. England have been putting the pressure on Wales offensively here. They've been moving the ball a lot faster than they did in that first half. And right now they're taking full advantage of it. They've already got 9 points here in the third quarter, and they're back on top by 8.
I think England are probably 1-3 away from this zone being taken out. I don't know how much longer they can sustain it with the success that England are having.
Welcheume loses the handle, right, gets it forward. Scotland, one-on-one against Round, going up, and a nice little reverse layup. He's got it to fall. 6-point lead. Round out to the corner. Kitchen gets it back in the same spot as before. Still no. Scotland, 7 points, 7 rebounds. Minty Walker, behind the back. Oh, and he just can't get it to drop.
That would have been the highlight I was after.
There it was. Round trying to respond. Still no. England missing another 3. Wales now on the run. 1-on-2 here for Oliver Wright. It slows things down. Wales will reset their play. Scotland. 12 to go. 10. Beats the defender, whips it back. Brown's open, doesn't take the shot. Driving inside once again. Dump off. Minty Walker's got to go up. And he finds a way through the double team and in.
Yeah, he's always got really good footwork down there. A really nice fake step through. It's a shame he didn't finish the previous layup, but he's making up for it there. And you can see that they're tired, but you can also see how much it means to them. They're diving on every loose ball possible on both sides.
40 to 36. Brown from 3, off the iron and out. Bounces around. Wright's got it. Long range pass going forward. Wales, they knock it in. 2 for Joe Thomas. It's back to a 2-point game. Boy, it is loud in here, guys. Wales right back into things. Brown out to the far side. Brown driving inside. Gets it back to Isaac Brown. Spinning around. That shot goes nowhere. Great defense from Josh Brown. Scotland looking for the foul there. Not going to be called. He'll drive forward on his own. Beats him. And running floater. It seemed a little too casual. Didn't get it to fall. On the opposite end. And it's stolen away once more. Now we got a 3-on-2 for Wales. Minty Walker gets it to Brown. Inside. Going up strong. Swatted away. And it bounces around. Eventually, Brown's got it. England on the run. They'll slow it down finally.
And Brown's got to be careful there. We've been on 3 fouls already. He doesn't want to pick up a 4th.
Will Cheume wide open from the straightaway. Still, that's a good shot. Will Cheume is your leading scorer for England throughout the game. He's wide open from 3s. Hit those all tournament long. Tough to miss that one, of course, and a bad way to do it. But England, I think, will still like where they're at. They're only up by 2, though, heading into this bottom half of the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, a few things to tighten up on. Again, maybe a bit of a quick shot as well. They just want to pass. I keep saying this. We want to pass the ball around. It works so well when they do it. It's a bit strange sometimes when they're going away from it. But as I say, high volume shooting team. They like to get the shots off. But I'd like to see some more of that ball movement.
6 of 34 from 3 are England right now, shooting 17%. On the opposite end, Wales trying a 3 of their own. That one's not going to fall. Sudeen now on the run. He's got a 2-on-1 here. Makes the handoff. Scotland tries to stay with him, and he can't. Jason Sudeen lays it in.
That's tough from Sudeen.
Did well to not barge into Lucas Scotland and cause a foul there. Scotland hands it off to Minty Walker. It's back at the top once more with Lucas Davis. On the other end, Thomas, 3. Still can't get a 3 to drop. Can Joe Thomas?
I think that's a pretty good shot. It's a nice open look. I don't think they're going to get loads of those. So he's got to take that and he's got to just keep shooting it with confidence.
Well, England now driving inside once more, and they've got more free throws to come here as they have a 4-point lead with 4 minutes left to go in the 3rd. They're looking to build on it once again. Nadas Cholovinskas coming onto the floor for them. And Lane Campbell at the free throw line. We've got mass substitutions here for Wales. Actually, a timeout called instead. So a timeout before the 2 free throws from Lane Campbell. And guys, wow, the same energy that we had in the first half has stayed here throughout. Fans are here. Seats are packed. This is a tough game. 4-point England lead.
It is. England have really picked up the defense coming into the second half as well. Maybe they were a little bit fatigued from the first game, but they really looked to have turned things around in the second half.
And Tom, this is the first moment of quiet we've had in quite a while. Wales, I know they need to get some momentum back on their side. They've let England kind of take advantage of a couple of things, and Wales are now down by 4.
Yeah. It can be both a blessing and a curse a bit. The crowd here, they get hyped, you get hyped, and then you start to maybe try a little bit too much. But I know I'd still rather be playing in front of a home crowd than being in English shoes right now, where every time that the opposition do something well, all you can hear is people going crazy. It's fantastic to have this bottle back, but it's also so awesome for parents to be able to see, parents and family and friends be able to see their sons and their daughters and their mates play for their countries on the home floor, regardless of Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales. This is the sort of atmosphere that we all like, and I'm loving it.
This is a massive tournament. This is the Under-18 Four Nations Tournament live here in Cardiff, Wales, 2022. We're grateful to have you all join us this evening. We're grateful to the BBL player for streaming these games and for Cardiff Metropolitan University for hosting this event. This has just been an incredible 2 days of basketball. We still have a game to come after this as well. England and Wales will go against each other one more time with their women's teams, who are both 2-0 and undefeated in the tournament. So that's effectively a tournament final for the women's sides as well as the men's here, as Lane Campbell knocks down the first.
I think after 2 years away, the quality of basketball we've seen from England and Wales women and England and Wales men, it's a sign that basketball is really springing back to life.
Campbell sinks them both. He's on 7 points now, and England are now on top by 6.
Yeah, it's just great to see a lot of youth talent in the country, and it's only going to get better going in the future.
Knocked away, another steal there. England going to the opposite end quickly. Round will be forced back. He's got it to Campbell. Campbell looking to go right to the hoop. Forces it back. Round won't take the three to the baseline. Cholovinska's open. Three. He's a sharpshooter. No. And Sudin with the offensive board once again. Brown inside. Back out. Round another three. Still no. And another offensive board here from Sudin on the deck, fighting for it. Throws one up. Another offensive rebound. 4 in a row here for England. Round driving again. Going up against Walker, who stays right in his face. Tip around, no. After 5 attempts, they finally get it. And Wales basketball. Wow.
You feel like after all those offensive rebounds, something's got to drop. You've got to get rewarded for that.
No kidding. Wales making it as hard as they can for them when they just can't get these offensive rebounds.
Yeah, that comes back to the fundamentals. Are you just going up after it, which at a certain point it does become about, but also if you are struggling with that, you just got to find bodies and you've got to clear them out and dare the rest to call you for something. But I'll just be sending people flying here and seeing what you can get away with against a bigger and more physical team.
Right now, England are on 26 offensive rebounds. 26 defensive rebounds to go along with 17 offensive rebounds. Right now on the opposite end with 16 seconds left on the shot clock. Plenty of time to do whatever they like here. Thomas gets it over to Lucas Davis. Inside to Brown. Davis streaking next to him. And he takes the turnaround shot and sinks it anyway.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of basketball at sort of that 30 feet, 35 feet mark, which is exactly what England want. But, they're not panicking because they're playing that system offense. They're not relying on set plays. That was a really nice ball movement.
Cholovinskas can't get it to fall, but another foul here. And oh no, that's Pete Walker's. I think that's going to be his 4th foul. We'll wait for the official confirmation, and it is 4 fouls now on Pete Walker. The captain is 1 away from fouling out. He'll come off the floor for Solminthi Walker here. So not a lot of foul trouble today for either side. England have only been to the line 8 times, but they're only 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Kaz, England just have not scored as many points as we're used to so far in this game against Wales.
They haven't, and this is probably the first team that they've come up against that's actually causing real problems, and they've not been able to dictate the game on their terms as they wanted to. Real low-scoring game for England so far. But they're still taking the shots. They're still getting a lot of shots up as well. They're playing fast. But yeah, real credit to Wales for keeping the score as low as it is for England.
England have taken 20 more shots than Wales have here, deep into the third quarter. It's a 6-point England lead, 46-40. Davis hands it off. Minty Walker on the perimeter. He's looking to drive, picks up the dribble early. Davis spinning on Cholovinskas, trying to drive, spins around him, goes up. Cholovinskas gets a hand to it, and it rolls in and out. So 2 free throws to come here for Lucas Davis, looking for his first points of the game.
And I think that system offense again is flowing around. They could do with maybe a little bit more directness in terms of, right, someone's really got to take a look to try and get towards the free throw line area and then distribute. But yeah, a really lovely spin move there, great footwork.
Davis can't knock down the first free throw, part of the Derby Trailblazers Academy system. He'll look to sink the second here. If he can, they'll cut it back to a 5-point game. But he's missed the first, and Wales are now 12 of 18 from the free throw line. Got the second, though. 13 of 19. Back to a 5-point England lead.
Yeah, and I can see his dad in the crowd looking very nervous on those free throws coming through at Cougars, but staying composed there, knocking that second one down.
Double steal there. Campbell's got it back for England. Flips it to the opposite side. Trying to go up here. Michael stripped away there. Wright's got it down. 3-on-2. Davis is streaking to the hoop, and it's knocked down and out. Out of bounds. Knocked off of Jason Sudin's hands. Wales basketball.
And Sudin did a fantastic job in the Scotland game of just getting in the way, being able to tap the ball out of bounds. As me and Ruth were saying, if there was a stat for how many ball taps out of bounds, Jason Sudin probably would have had a triple-double with it.
Right, 3. No. Sudin with the board. He had 7 steals against Scotland last game, only 1 here today. Flips it to the opposite end. Nichols gets it back. A 3 from Campbell again. In and out. And the rebound grab by Solminthi Walker, sprinting to the opposite end. He's got help next to him. He takes it eventually. Oh, fakes out the defender, and he loses the handle. And it's out of bounds off an England player. So it's still going to be Wales basketball now. Oh, that looked like a free 2 there.
It did, but did you see how high Campbell got up on that play?
He went flying. Tom, I see your grimace next to me after that.
Well, I'm just, there's a few open mouths, there's a few faces thinking they should be at the free throw line there, but what play from Campbell to just not give up on that. It felt like either Minty Walker or Thomas was going to go and throw it down, and for it to only be an end line is a really great defensive effort.
Right, though. Recovers it for Wales well, and it's now a 3-point England lead. We're heading towards the bottom 2 minutes now of the third quarter. Michaels back to Cholominskas. Can't get it to drop. Offensive rebound again. Sudin, quadruple teamed here, and finally a foul's going to be called. This one's going to be on Oliver Wright for the reach, and 2 free throws to come now for England once again. Fans here hate the call, but with that many arms going around you, foul's got to be called eventually.
And I love the way that Sudin goes up for the ball. You can just see he's just able to inch his fingertips just above everybody else, tap the ball to himself.
Sudin has 8 rebounds. He leads the England squad in rebounds. Missed the first free throw, though.
And rebounding is a lot about desire and motor. You know, half the time, if you just want to go and get an offensive rebound, there's every chance you'll go get it. You know, and like Dennis Rodman, he just wanted that rebound. Sudin showing that he just wants to go and get that ball, and that's half the battle.
Well, Sudin does knock down 1 of 2 free throws. Jason Sudin, part of that Bristol Flyers Division II squad in the North, that extremely competitive Division II North in the National Basketball League, who finished 8-14. Lucas Scotland now will take this one up the court for Wales as they're down by 4. Scotland calling his play. Got help next to him with Thomas. Roderick driving inside. They can't find him. Wright. 6 to go. He's got a switch here. Wright hesitates, spins, back, and it's blocked. And recovered here by Cornelius, but it's going to be a shot clock violation. Possession never changed hands, and it's going to be England basketball. Great defense there, guys.
He missed Thomas wide open on the perimeter there as he was turning, went for his own shot. They'd helped in off the strong side there, off Joe Thompson. There was no one there, so an easy pass out there and at least generate a wide open look.
Wright struggling a bit today. 2 of 11 from the field, just 7 points from him in this game. Sudin kicks far side. Cholominskas, Campbell inside, beats one, tries to beat his second, splits the defense, can't get it to fall, and they're looking for the rebound. Eventually got it. Thomas is going to be fouled.
He has got some serious shots on there to just go up and get that. I mean, if you're not going to find a body and you want it, that's the other option, isn't it? To just go and get it, and great desire to go up and get that one. That's what Wales are going to rely on here with a slightly smaller lineup here.
Really impressive rebound from Thomas. That's his 4th. Wales now have 47 rebounds, out-rebounding England. 47 rebounds to 42. England, of course, though, have those 17 offensive rebounds and given them a lot of second-chance points today.
It just doesn't feel like England have been out-rebounded. It feels like Wales are being heavily out-rebounded.
Well said. One Roderick kicks it over to the far side. On the drive, on the weak side here, and it's out of bounds. Another Wales turnover. They're 18th, Kaz. They're struggling now.
Yeah, that's really tough for them. They should be. So Wales have kept England to just 16 points in the paint today. So they are doing a really good job on them inside. They just need to convert on the other end, like we saw in the layup before.
Campbell now at the top of the arc. 34 seconds left in the third. 19 on the shot clock. Drive inside, reverse layup from Goodwin. He's got it. Wales quickly to the opposite end. Thomas beats the defender. Campbell, it's off his fingertips, out of bounds. Thomas was streaking to the open basket. Campbell did well to recover that and knock it out. So Wales basketball from the baseline, but they're down by 6 now.
That's another incredible defensive play. Thomas looked like he was going to go up and think about throwing it down on him. And just getting his hand in right there as he's about to take off. Really incredible defensive play.
Thomas with 4 points. Quick pass inside. Cornelius got it to drop. And he's going to go to the line for one more. Reece Cornelius, his first basket of the game, and a great time to do it.
Sudin can tell he probably shouldn't have reached in there. So only the 2nd foul on Sudin. So
he will come off the floor, though, substituted there for Isaac Round. So Reece Cornelius now at the free throw line after his first bucket of the game. Plays for 2 clubs here locally, Vale Vipers and Tony Raphael Tigers.
A really well executed inbound play there to when you've got a big streak into the hoop wide open, you know you've done it well.
Even better play there from Thomas. Offensive rebound turns it into a 4-point play. Wales now down by 2. 14 seconds left to go in the third. England can play for the last bucket. Round. 9 to go. Campbell inside. Tipped back by Cornelius. Out of bounds. England basketball, but 6.7 left on the clock. They'll have to hurry for this shot. Campbell looking for the inbound. Wales fans in full voice behind the bench, trying to force a miss here. Round at the perimeter, going to drive on Roderick. Pulls it back from 3. Michaels with time. Got it! And he shuts the crowd down. It's back to a 5-point England lead. 10 minutes left of basketball to go in this under-18 Four Nations final. Talk about a momentum shift right there, guys. That was brutal.
That's a huge 3 from Michaels just to end the third quarter as well. Going to give England a lot of momentum going into the fourth. It's a real disheartening thing to see the ball go through the basket at that point when you're Wales and you played that hard in the third quarter.
That is a tough one to let drop. I turn over and I see Tom, you winced as that one went in.
Yeah, Gav and I just looked at each other like, wow, that's seriously big. That's a clutch shot. You know, there's nothing else to do at that moment but take that shot. You've only got one choice, to knock it down in a game where neither team's shooting particularly well from 3. The momentum was with Wales there. If they got to stop there, I can imagine the bench and the crowd going crazy. That's really, really killed the momentum right there. They've now got to start from fresh. Time is up. England just shut that off, and now they've got to go again.
And the time Michaels took as well, it looked like he had time to just set his feet, look at the basket. It looked like he had more time than he should have done.
It didn't feel like there was only about half a second left when he had to let that go.
Not at all. Well, amazingly, England are 8 of 40 from the three-point line. 43s. They've only hit 8 of them. I'm not sure. I mean, there's so many different things that's attributed to. Wales, of course, have had good defense out on the perimeter today, but this is unlike England. Only 18 points in the paint, Kaz, that you mentioned earlier in this game, but they're starting to take control of things slowly on the perimeter. That 3, obviously, extremely important. They'll be looking for more of that to come, more momentum shifts that they can keep hold of as we get late in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that, the 3 is starting to fall for them like it has in the second half, Ben Brown's hit a couple in the game as well. But yeah, the 18 points in the paint, it's not what we expected to see from England because it's worked so well for them. But Wales have done a really good job defensively as well. We've said England are getting the offensive boards, but Wales really beating them out on the defensive end as well.
They have done well there, have Wales. Fans cheering in full voice behind the bench. Here in Cardiff, Wales today, so plenty of home court advantage for Wales here as we head into the bottom 10 minutes of the game. Wales down 47-52 with 10 minutes left on the clock. Reece Cornelius here to inbound. Wales bringing out a similar starting 5, similar lineup to the starting 5. Joe Thomas in instead of Pete Walker with his 4 fouls. Thomas will collect the ball now. Stolen away. Goodwin on the run, going up strong. Almost blocked, but not quite. And he lays it in for 2. Stoppage here, make sure Joe Thomas is okay. But again, England, that's a big one right there.
I'm still a bit thrown by the 43-point attempts.
Yeah. Scotland will now take it up into the front court for Wales. They need some momentum to go back their way right now. Home crowd effectively silent at the moment. Thomas driving inside, trying to go up against Campbell, can't do it. And we're on to the opposite end. Michaels almost has it stripped away, keeps hold of it. Back to Goodwin. He pulls up, won't take the shot. Michaels back, flip, far side. Driving his round, kicks it back. Goodwin under pressure. Campbell, 10 to go, plenty of time. Deep 3, Wellucheume misses off the back end. Right, Minty Walker wants it. Too far, he still corrals it though. Going up here, 1-on-2, nice little step back, no! Goodwin, quick pass inside, Wellucheume off the foot of Scotland. Not going to be called. Cornelius gets it. And Wales will reset here. Scotland, he's got the speed if he wants it. Fakes around, shimmies, and he loses it.
I think he faked himself out.
Oh, he did. That's a tough one. 20, a turnover for Wales. Drive inside. Oh, that's a travel. And eventually it's called there. About 5 steps on that one, guys.
This tempo has been relentless to start this fourth quarter. You wouldn't think it's the end of a long 2 days of basketball.
No.
But they are going to make sure that they leave everything out here. And I think we're in for an incredible last quarter here.
7-point England lead. Wales looking to respond. This is almost the biggest gap that England have had all game. They've led by 8 in the past. 7 is right there. Minty Walker spinning around. loses it a little bit. 8 seconds left to go. Gets the defender to bite. Should have gone up. He would have drawn a foul. And it's kicked around. So kick ball. It's going to be Wales basketball. They will get a shot clock reset as well.
I think they're all in. This sort of refereeing we're getting, we've got 3 very good experienced refs here. This is more how it gets called at the professional level and the higher up you get. And they're learning what the sort of contact that they will have to face, as they continue their careers.
Yeah, and it's things like that provide such a valuable experience for the players as well. It's not just to play on court; it's things like that as well.
It's a big learning experience for everyone involved here. The Under-18 Four Nations tournament. Right, driving, 3 seconds to go. Handoff, Scotland. Oh, he's taking too long. And just one pass too many. Scotland probably needed to go up on his own there, but Wales can't generate a good look, and still they're down by 7.
Yeah, Lucas Scotland there just acknowledging that he probably should have taken that corner 3. And as a habit, he's still learning, where most of these players have probably been standouts at junior level for some time, where they can get whatever shot they want, and now they need to learn when they need to take the shot.
Goodwin, inside, 1-on-2, beats both, lays it off the window cleanly. England now on top by 9. The gap starting to grow slowly.
And if you're Wales, you really need to start getting some points on the board because you don't want that gap to get too far ahead.
Minty Walker, perimeter, drive inside, tries to go all on his own. No, it's tipped around. He gets his own rebound, though, and they'll get a reset. Wales desperately need a basket right now. Wright calls a play, 6 to go, 7:30 on the clock. Wright to drive, loses his footing. He's going to have to pop the shot up, and he's running out of time yet again. 2 straight shot clock violations for Wales.
And that's the kind of defensive pressure that we've seen England play all tournament long as well. They've been forcing those turnovers, forcing those 24-second violations, 8-second backcourts in teams over the course of the 2 days. It's becoming their identity.
And you've seen this England identity defined right in front of your face here with that physicality and tempo. Stolen away here, Wales on the opposite end. They're on the run. Long pass, Minty Walker, and you have to slow it down. Scotland back, right, open 3, no. Oh, and he walks to the rebound. Oh, he had it. It's knocked on the ground. Minty Walker, he's kicking it around. We've got a jump ball called. Possession arrow pointing England's way. And Wales, man, they'll miss that one.
It looked like everybody was almost standing around watching it, waiting for
that was
the ball
odd
to come. It was, I think it looked like everybody was expecting somebody else to be running in.
That was a strange one. Tom, what have you seen these past couple minutes?
Yeah, I think Wales are probably on the verge here of potentially needing a timeout just to sort the offensive issues. They're really struggling to move the ball. The shot clock violations are showing it. They need to go back to the drawing board with a little bit of offensive focus.
Kitchen misses it. Will Chiume, though, with a huge rebound. Goodwin fakes. Inside, pull up 2. No. Wales can't let this lead stretch to double digits. Brown now collecting the pass. He'll get it back. Right, moving around, comes inside on the wild layup. It's like, oh my goodness, they've almost got it here. It's on the ground, gets it back. Minty Walker, quick pass inside. Brown fakes up. Finally, Wales get a bucket.
That hustle being rewarded right there. Incredible effort from Holly Reiter. He's launched himself as far as he can to get that ball.
Goodwin, England trying for the response, and he throws it away. Wales finally getting some momentum back. Their first 2 points of the quarter, and a substitution here coming into the game is Jack Davis. Ollie Wright will come off the court here for a bit of a break. 6:20 left to go. Wales down by 7. Wright doesn't like that he was taken off at all.
I can't see him being off for very long here because while they're struggling to generate offense, he's launching himself about, and that sort of hustle and desire is exactly what you need in these situations to try and spark some form of run.
Minty Walker, pull-up shot. Doesn't get it to fall. Offensive board. Eventually, it's going to go Wales' way. So it'll be Wales basketball. Shot clock reset. Great job to fight for it there from Jack Davis. That's as good as an offensive rebound.
He might well be the smallest player on any of the men's rosters here, but he's seeing the pattern of the game and he's not willing to give up on it either. That's an incredible effort.
He's definitely the smallest player on the court. But a great effort there. He's looking for the inbound pass. He's got it. Turns around. Forced back. 10 to go. Minty Walker calls the play. Brown will come for the screen. He's got a switch. Kitchen on him. Minty Walker drives. Almost loses it. Oh, he's hacked on the way up. Foul on Will Chiume. 2 free throws to come for Sol Minty Walker once again.
Yeah, rejecting the screen is a common tactic of his, and he did it to really great effect there.
And he did that really well in the first half as well. Wales were doing that really well, driving to the basket, being able to draw the foul, something they haven't done for as often as they did in the first half.
Yeah, I think just being a little bit more direct and thinking, well, if they're going to be physical, they might as well be physical with me while I'm trying to get towards the hoop. And what's the worst happening? They turn it over 10 feet closer to the hoop than you might do if you just keep it moving around the perimeter. That directness and getting to the free throw line is really what they need, I think.
Well, Sol Minty-Walker is the only Wales player in double-digit scoring right now. He's got 10 points, 4 of 11 shooting, 2 of 4 from the free throw line to go with 6 rebounds as well. Oh, and he misses the first. He'll have another chance here, but he shot about 65% from the free throw line in the NBL this season. Right now, he's 2 of 5. He can go to 50% if he hits this one. And he can't get either wasted trip for Wales there. Still a 7-point game, 5:42 on the clock. England looking to drive this win home. Cheume gets it back to Round. Round almost loses it, 12 to go. Goodwin, drive, inside, double team comes. And Kitchen can't grab it. Big board there from Minty-Walker. Oh, and he loses it. Another steal for England.
And that was great from Kitchen. He isn't able to make the layup, and he makes up for it on that play where he just pokes the ball away.
Cheume, drive inside, hits his head on the ground. Hopefully he's all right, but he knocks it in. It's back to 9. Scotland, Wales now with 23 turnovers after that last one. It's a big problem. England only have 12. Looking for help. 10 seconds to go. Oh, and he throws it out of bounds. Boy, momentum totally off the floor right now for Wales. It's a 9-point disadvantage for them. Timeout called here by Coach Nick O'Leary for Wales. Guys, you can feel it. The momentum started to shift to England here on the court, especially. England have taken control of things. They're up by 9. Just a few minutes left to go. What can Wales do to come back?
Wales need to remember what they did in the last game against Scotland. They were down 10 with 3 minutes to go, and they stopped Scotland scoring those last 3 minutes, and they came back to win by 1. They've done it before, and they can do it again. They just need to keep their heads, keep their composure, and just play the way they have played.
Well, big problems seemed to arise for them when Oliver Wright came off the floor. We saw him animated as he came off a few minutes ago. What will Wales look to do? What lineup will they bring, or who will they look to lead this charge back, Tom?
Yeah, it's a really tricky balance because the zone is working for them in terms of England not knocking down loads of shots. It's not working in terms of there's plenty of offensive rebounds. But it would be very difficult there. Their success against Scotland came from man pressure up the floor, sort of that 1v1, try and get the steal, try and score. It would be difficult to play some form of man pressure and then come back into a zone. So they've got to decide which tactic they want to take. It may be that they hold on to the man press for a little bit longer, but also England have got plenty of really talented ball handlers. Scotland were more size and they had a lot more sort of wings and bigs, whereas England have got ability across the board, so that may not be a viable option. I think they need to keep them in the zone. They just need to make sure they're looking after the ball in transition. Minty-Walker can get that rebound, he can go, but they all need to look after it a little bit more and make sure that when they can get out in transition, they have to take full advantage. No off possessions going that way when they can at speed.
Just 10 fast break points for Wales in this game. They are down by 9. Bottom 5 minutes of the game left to go. Turnaround 3. Rolls in and out. And Cheume grabs the rebound anyway. Round, Goodwin, England with more chances here. Little pass over his head. What a pass, what a finish from Sudin.
That was a beautiful pass.
Now Wales are starting to feel the pressure. You're down by 11. This is the biggest deficit of the game, and it's the worst time for it. Scotland, over to Jack Davis. Pete Walker into the game now with those 4 fouls. Whitney Embleton inside. Brown, turnaround, shot, off. Sudin sprints to the opposite end here. Sudin inside. Oh, he's hacked. Oh, no. 2 and 1 given up. Jason Sudin at the free throw line for 1 more.
That's a huge bucket from Jason Sudin. Some amazing footwork to get to the basket, and then the chance for a 3-point play. That's a real great move for England.
Wales, they've given up some tough ones before. England have taken advantage of some momentum swings, but every time the Welsh fans have responded well. That one, though, you talk about a dagger. That's what this one feels like. This is a dagger 3-point play if Sudin can knock this in. Oh, and he does. Off of some magic. Wow.
That's about the nicest bounce I've ever seen on those hoops, and it happens to the away team.
Well, finally, Wales respond. Connor Whitney Embleton with his first 2 points of the tournament. Down low, 63-51. Wales are not out of this yet, though they are down by 12. Bottom 4 minutes. They've got to get a stop. Brown drive, kick, Brown, three, looks short, it is. And another offensive rebound. Weluche going up strong, and he lays it in. Big problems here. Timeout called by England on the opposite end. Weluche now with 10 points, 5 offensive rebounds. He's made all of them count for England right now, guys.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. He's been fantastic all tournament. We saw him in the Ireland game, the Scotland game. He had 20 against Ireland, around 13 against Scotland. I haven't got my stats in front of me. He had a very good game against Scotland. Sorry, he had 15 against Scotland. He's been a real credit to this England team. And if you're England, you've got to be really pleased with how you performed this tournament. Again, everybody from England on the score sheet. That's all 3 games now. Everyone's contributed. Everyone's getting a lot of playing time. The bench guys are getting to come on as well. No one person is kind of dominating, and it's been great to see.
Well, Tom, how are England just taking control of this game right now in the fourth? Wales just don't seem to have a response.
Yeah, their suffocating defence. We mentioned it earlier. They're just making sure that Wales can't generate any form of consistent, reasonable looks. Like when you only get the occasional good look, you don't feel like you're building any rhythm. No. If you can have a few offences in a row where you're getting open threes, even if they don't fall, you feel a little bit more at ease. Whereas England, because Wales are sitting in the zone, they're able to move the ball around quite well. And if they're just feeling good, they're feeling in the rhythm. And the sort of the 2 contrasting approaches there on the on the defensive end are therefore forcing those offensive issues for Wales and that ease of ball movement for England.
Well, big problem as well for Wales. Wales have only taken 60 shots. They're 18 of 60, 30% shooting. Your problem is, on the opposite end, England are 25 of 81. So they have had 21 more shots than Wales. They've had 23 points off of turnovers. Right now, England are winning this game, and they're deservedly so on top. Right now they're winning by 14 with 3:47 left to go. Wales fans in full voice trying to inspire their team to a comeback here in the bottom part of this under-18 Four Nations tournament. Lucas Scotland gets us underway after the timeout.
It looks like England showing that 1-3-1 zone that we've seen a little bit from Wales, so there's going to be some more 3-point opportunities here. They're just going to make it count.
Inside, Minty Walker under heavy pressure. Thomas, 3. Still no. Taps it down. Walker on the bottom. And this is going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow pointing for Wales. So that's good. It's not technically an offensive rebound, but you'll take it. Still a Wales possession.
I think against this 1-3-1 zone, I'll potentially looking to get either Ollie right back in or perhaps someone like a Juan Roderick who's a bit of a sharpshooter. Just making sure that you've got your best possible shooters on the floor.
Surprisingly, we haven't seen him here on the court, Oliver Wright. Minty Walker taking a 3, looks short, and it is. Offensive rebound once again. Thomas inside, Minty Walker on the collection, got it. Goodwin now trying to respond immediately. Flip inside. Blocked away by Minty Walker, but it doesn't matter. Weluche flexing after that one. Knocks it in, and one more to come.
Wow, it's all we can say here.
No kidding.
2 incredible plays back to back. What an effort from Minty Walker to go up and get that. And then he's so unlucky that he's reached the guy right at the top. He's pinned it to the backboard. It falls straight back to him, and just a natural collision. That's a real bit of a heartbreaker if you're a Wales fan.
Oh, and even worse, an offensive rebound from Sudin. And it's almost tapped in. Weluche knocking it around. Walker grabs it off Weluche. Out of bounds. England basketball. Wales fall apart there. And it's a 14-point England lead, and they have the ball again.
You've just got to stay mentally focused here. It's really difficult. There's the England girls in there, the England lads are going hype here, Wales are going hype. You've just got to make sure you're still locked in on exactly what you need to do as a basketball player.
Sudin fakes, gets the bait to fall. Shot doesn't drop. Wales with the rebound, opposite end. Walker, one-on-one, step back, gets the bait. Oh, he doesn't go up. Scotland with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Wales need a basket. He's driving. He's going to look for it on his own. Shakes off the defender. Drive. Blocked away. Got it again. 4 seconds to go. Back. Walker, 2 to go. Has to shoot. Scotland puts it up. Foot on the line. Out of bounds.
What doesn't this game have? What an awesome effort by Scotland there to drop its guy. But then, wow, that help defense is exactly what you want as a coach. To have someone there on the back line to just make sure that there's nothing easy at the rim. Well, that's an incredible play there.
Oliver Wright finally coming back in for Wales now with 2.5 minutes left to go. Weluche with 12 points, 10 rebounds. He's got the double-double now to go along with 3 blocks after that last rejection.
He's been huge in this game. And we can see the England women's team on the baseline as well, cheering along the men, getting ready for their game after this one.
if their game's anything like this is going to be an incredible finish to the night. So a foul called there. We're going to have an England throwing from the sideline over here. So foul on Joe Thomas there. Thomas is second. They're looking for the steals heavily right now. Thomas reaches in, can't get anything to work. Heavy pressure at the top here. Goodwin driving, 10 seconds to go. He's going to take the three. It's off. Will Cheume though. He's got the offensive rebound again. Oh, falls to the floor hard. So we've got a foul called over the back.
That's when you end up switching in that situation and it has Scotland on the biggest guy on the court. He did a really good job to just make sure he got his body there. Will Cheume was always going to try and go up and get that just to make sure that he was in position to take that foul.
Well, guys, it's a 14-point deficit. 2 minutes left to go. Kaz, Wales need some points now.
They do, and they're going to need to look to get some quick points as well. They don't want to run down the shot clock. Obviously don't take something too early, but they don't want to burn too much time off the clock.
On the perimeter, Whitney Embleton, drive inside, kick it over, Minty Walker stolen away. That's the last thing you want to do. Will Cheume inside, out to the corner, Brown, deep three. Oh, that's it right there. That's the dagger. Shot clock and net both need to be reset. Man, that just quieted everything down.
That's Ben's third three of the game, and he plays Manchester Magic Division 2.
Oh, no. And even worse, a technical foul now called on the bench. I think it's on Coach Nick O'Leary. Maybe not.
Close. Some form of either warning there or something like that about it doesn't feel like it's a 14 or 15 point game.
No,
it really feels like it really only feels like it's 3 or 4.
That time a foul on England. So still going to be Wales basketball. The warning there on Coach Nick O'Leary. It's the second warning of the game. Wales looking to get an inbound here. Minute 43 left, just about. 70-53. England on top by 17 after that lethal three from Ben Brown. The game's leading scorer with 13 points. England have 4 players in double digits. And, oh, no. Knocks the ball out of bounds there to Ben Brown. Hopefully he's all right. Head into the banister there. Looks like he's all right. Bigfoot basketball saving the day there.
And that's the kind of hustle plays you're going to get from Ben Brown. He's just going after the ball every time he sees it.
And now we've got a technical foul called. So a tech here on Wales. This is going to be a free throw in possession. Looks like that one was called on Sol Minty Walker. I think it was for mouthing off. Not sure what he said. But a free throw and possession to come for England. That's going to just about do it there.
I think the situation getting to people a little bit here and just making sure that they need to keep their cool. Wales have done so well to just about stay focused, just about stay in it. They've just got to make sure these last 100 seconds or so that they just stay fully locked in on the process. It could be a little bit of a difficult emotional situation when you've been in a game and you've been up and in front of a crowd like this. Just have to make sure you finish off managing the situation as best as you can.
Lights go off in the corner. They'll come back on. No stoppage of play here. So the technical foul called. But Wales are going to keep possession of the basketball here. So Scotland will take us up the court. Wales, minute 40 left to try and save this game. Down by 17. Looking for some easy points here. Walker driving inside. Step back. Loses it on the ground. It's going to be another jump ball. It will be. Possession arrow pointing to England. Another Wales turnover. It's number 28. And England, with 26 points off those turnovers, they forced 12 steals today. And they're about to walk out of here with the victory tonight, guys.
Yeah, a really, really impressive performance from England all tournament, but especially in this last quarter, they've really turned things around. An 18-6 run for them. They've been able to get that three to drop, which they haven't in some of the other games, and they've done a really good job of just putting the defensive pressure onto Wales, forcing those turnovers, shot clock violations, and they're going to be really pleased with how they performed this whole tournament.
Good play there, though, from Joe Thomas. Forces the turnover there. Matt Goodwin stepped on the line. So just the 13th turnover for England in the game. Timeout called by Nick O'Leary for Wales. We'll have a chance to reset things. A minute 20 left to go. Down by 17. Look for some quick points. But guys, regardless of the result here today, great turnout from both sets of fans. This has been an incredible tournament. What a way for both these teams to end this tournament performance today.
It has, and what a fantastic display of talent that we've got on show. You know, these guys are the future of basketball in this country and across the UK, and it's just brilliant to see so much support and so many players with such a bright future as well. And you know, Wales have got a lot to be proud of in this game as well. England are on 70 points at the moment. They scored 78 against Ireland, and they're in the 90s against Scotland. So they've kept England to a low score-ish for England, and they've also been able to dictate the game a little bit, with England not being able to get inside as much as they wanted to in the first half, so they've maybe changed their game plan a little bit to Wales. So Wales have got, you know, a lot to take out of this game.
Well, we still have some time left. Things are not over yet for Wales. Tom, what do you do here in the last minute of this game?
I would imagine that they're going to just look for the quickest score they possibly can. You know, obviously you'd love to try and get back into it, but it's a very difficult task from here. So you're just looking to get the quickest score you possibly can, and it's a good chance to practice a sideline play. But also, you just got to make sure that you finish strong and you reduce the deficit by as much as you can. You'd rather lose by 8 than 12, you know, rather lose by 5 than 10. So just making sure that they finish as strong as they possibly can.
But a sloppy pass there. Minty Walker now ready for it. Sudin spinning around inside, rolls it up and in off the glass. England fully establishing their dominance here, continuing that 20-6 run in the fourth quarter. Walker, corner, three, Thomas, up and off. And with just 60 seconds left to go, all England need to do is run this clock out. Still to come, England and Wales women to play. If it's anything like this atmosphere, it's going to be a great game. That game tipping off at about 8 o'clock. We'll be here to take you all the action. Oh man, a deep shot there from Sudin. That one's a 2. But regardless, 74-53, England running away here.
And you've got 4 England players in double figures as well in today's game. That's really, really important for them.
Walker now 10 to go, trying to flip it around back. And a poor play. England know it. They'll run out as much time as they want here. Goodwin at the top of the arc gets it over to Welocheume. Welocheume, massive impact in this game. 12 points, 10 boards, 3 blocks. Isaac Brown, the captain. Only 3 points for him, but a massive performance. Great leadership from him here today. 3 seconds left to go. Rifles it up. Oh, falls down injured. Hopefully he's all right. Looks like maybe a pulled muscle there. Hopefully he's okay. And Wales will slow things down. And that's how this game will end. Isaac Brown still down. Hopefully he's all right. Trainers will come out to attend to him. But that's how this game will end. England will walk away here with a victory in Archers Arena in Cardiff, Wales, 74-53. Dominant 20-point victory for England. Isaac Brown looks like he looks like he'll be okay. Get up off the floor here in just a moment. Just needs to stretch out that leg a little. But guys, great finish here for both these sides, both men's squads here in this under-18 Four Nations tournament. England walking away victors, 3 victories over all 3 squads here.
Yeah, super impressive performance from England in all 3 games. Like we said before, they've used all of the squad. The bench has rotated really well. Coach Will Maynard's been able to choose through a lot of different lineups, see what works well. They've shot the 3 a lot today. They were playing inside in the paint against Scotland. He's going to have a real good idea of what this team can do in the future. And what a great experience for these guys on this team to play in this kind of atmosphere, have the games they've had, and it's just been fantastic for them.
Regardless of the loss, you can see a ton of pride on the court out there for the Welsh team and the Welsh fans. Tom, your final thoughts on this day for the Wales? This is an impressive day for them regardless of the result.
How many times after a loss do you see an ovation like that? It shows what it meant to be leading and then to be competing. And I think it's starting to show a little bit of a cultural shift up in Wales that we're not having to make up the numbers anymore. Yep. On the whole, we're feeling that in the senior program and in the under-23s, and it's fantastic to see our 18s here doing that. You just have to look at that standing ovation. The boys left everything they possibly could out there. You know, didn't look after the defensive glass as well as they could have. They turned the ball over a little bit too much. Sometimes that happens in basketball, but the way they've conducted themselves here, the unit that they've been, and you just, I mean, look how proud, you know, their family and friends are in there, and I really hope that they've embraced this moment and they've enjoyed it. They've given themselves something to look back on here. That they played like, there we go, we can hear it going, and they're still bouncing. It's been an incredible occasion. I'm just so glad that it was able to be here in Cardiff.
What a win here for England today, 74-53, 21-point victory. Give us a few seconds, we'll get over to our interview studio with Jason Sudin here before we wrap things up and get to our second match of the evening. We'll wait here for Jason Sudin in just a moment's time. He's run back over to the huddle. Some final thoughts there from Coach Will Maynard for the English squad. 74-53 victory over Wales here. Just what a day that we've seen throughout this tournament from both teams. I look over, Lucas Scotland here to join us for an interview. Lucas, thank you for joining us. Man, that's a tough loss here today, but what a performance and a ton of pride on the court for you guys today.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts here after the tournament for you guys?
I mean, like, I'm proud of the guys, for real. Like, we put our fight against every team. You know, came in, won 2 games, gave England, who like notoriously good for being like, you know, they're a big team, solid team, and we gave them a game. Like, I'm proud of the guys. You know, they did their thing out there, so proud of them for real.
Going into the future, I think there's a lot to be proud of and a lot to be confident for this Wales program. Where to next for you guys in your mind?
Oh man, I think I'm looking over to men's now. You know, like with the 3v3 and stuff, and like what they have with like USA Select and stuff with the men. So I'm looking over to the men's now. I'm transferring my game over to the men's level, so that's what, that's what
Lucas, congratulations on a great tournament. Obviously, tough loss here, but congratulations on the performances. Good luck tonight. Good luck in the future for this Welsh program.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
I need that.
Yeah, probably. Thanks, Lucas. Appreciate it. We'll have Jason Sudin here to join us in just a moment from the winning English squad. Jason, when you came over early, I looked over at you, and the first thing you said was, wow, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a fun game, man. That was, well, I mean, I said earlier, 40-point blowout. I mean, Wales, they battled, did well. We did well to pull away at the end, but yeah, that was a fun game. Really
that was no kidding.
Yeah.
That was a tough first half, and you guys responded extremely well in a massive run there in the third and fourth quarters. What changes did you guys make at halftime that led to this?
Well, I mean, so they just sat in, they played zone the whole game, and we weren't really hitting threes in the first half, so we just said, like, keep shooting, keep being confident, take your shots, and eventually they'll start dropping. And when Wales got tired, we have quite good depth. They don't have as good depth, so we were hitting more. So towards the end, we just pulled away, which is.
When somebody like you is coming off the bench, yeah, I think you guys do have some good depth. Just a dominant performance all around. A great tournament from you and a great tournament from the English side. Where to next for you guys after this tournament?
So, well, hopefully we've got the Euros in the summer. Obviously, I mean that's us and Wales, but like, that's like we're like the bulk of the squad there. Yeah, we don't really have any games more. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. We don't really organise things that far in advance.
Still, tons of progress we've seen here from you guys today. 3 wins out of 3 and a great performance here on the road in Cardiff. Congratulations on the tournament, Jason. Good luck as you go ahead to the future.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Jason. Have fun. Well, thank you all for joining us here for this presentation live on the BBL player of this game. 74-53, England defeat Wales. Join us in a few minutes' time, 8 o'clock tip-off between the English and Welsh women. I can promise you, if it's anything like this game, it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you in a few minutes. England 74, Wales 53.